What's up, people? Welcome to Rock and Roll Tales from the Lady in Black. I'm your host, Lana Mai. Today, we're going to talk about Blackstone Cherry's fifth studio album, Kentucky, which was released on April 1st, 2016 through Mascot Records. This was the band's first album on Mascot Records after parting ways with Roadrunner Records. According to an interview with Classic Rock magazine titled The Making of Kentucky, vocalist Chris Robertson says there was no hard feelings towards Roadrunner. They just felt it was time to part ways and move on to bigger things. In that same interview with Classic Rock magazine, Chris says when the news got out, they had other record labels who were interested in signing the band. But after talking and eating lunch with the founder of Mascot Records, Eddie Von Zell, they decided to go with Mascot. According to an interview with Music and Rights magazine, bassist John Hahn says everybody at Mascot is passionate about their bands. And because they are a smaller record label, they put their time and energy into all their bands, promotion-wise, marketing-wise, and press-wise. Blackstone Cherry wouldn't have gotten as much attention if they were on a bigger record label like Atlantic or Capitol, where they had to compete with 300 other bands. What's special about the Kentucky record is that Blackstone Cherry recorded it at Barrick Recording Studio in Glasgow, Kentucky, the same place where they recorded their debut album. The reason why the album was called Kentucky is because the band is from Kentucky, and they literally returned to their roots. According to the same interview with Music and Rights magazine, John says not only is the band from Kentucky, but most of the crew guys are from Kentucky, and the extra musicians they brought in to play on the record are from Kentucky. According to the Classic Rock magazine interview, drummer John Fred Young says Kentucky is a good representation of the songs in the album, where they recorded the album, and the people that played on the album. This was Blackstone Cherry saying they're proud of who they are and they're proud to be from Kentucky. Creatively, the band got to do whatever the hell they wanted on this record. They used horns, choir backing vocals, strings, and incorporated gospel influences into their music. According to an interview with a music publication called Rock Your Life, Chris says they wanted to add stuff like horns and choir backing vocals since the beginning, but they were told no for whatever reason. Since the band were producing the Kentucky record themselves, and Mascot Records was supportive of what they were doing, the band finally had the opportunity to experiment and test out new tricks in the studio. I got this! According to the Music and Rights magazine interview, John says they wanted the album to have a raw and live feel, a studio album recorded as a live album. We went in and set up everything that everyone tends to like to use on records. John Fred played with the same kit in the studio that he plays live every night. Same thing with Chris, Ben, and I. We were playing with the amplifiers that we use live, and 90% of the guitars and bass was stuff that we use live. Also, the other thing is that when we set the amps, we just kind of rolled in and set them in the way that we set them on stage. We let them be loud, we let the speakers kind of break up, and the head drives them the way that we do live. The lineup that plays in the album includes Chris Robinson on lead vocals and lead and rhythm guitars, Ben Wells on lead and rhythm guitars and backing vocals, John Fred Young on drums and backing vocals, and John Hahn on bass guitar and backing vocals. My favorite songs in the album include The Way of the Future, from the opening lines, Wake Up, Hope You Don't Get Shot, Step Out, Hope You Don't Get Robbed, Chris Robinson informs listeners that the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's more gloomy than we were led to believe as kids, more so now with our current political state, and that's what's so great about The Way of the Future. Chris isn't afraid to call out politicians and the government for their lies, false prophecies, and mind games.
Dishonor on your whole family. Make a note of this. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
The band sounds rejuvenated and revitalized, like they finally gained their freedom as musicians. The song is one big slap in the face with a nasty groove, phenomenal wah-wah guitar playing, swaggering vocals, and a whole lot of southern attitude. This is my favorite song on the album because it's a headbanger from start to finish, and I love how it turns a sensitive subject into something that's digestible and a whole lot of fun. Next up, we have In Our Dreams. Melodically and rhythmically, there's a lot of stuff going on in the song. For the first two lines in the verses, the guitar takes a backseat for John Fred Young to provide a solid foundation for Chris's vocals. In the chorus, the beat slows down for a stomping groove to give the song some depth and flavor. I love the tasteful guitar riff. It's one of those riffs that makes you go, oh, that's interesting. According to the Music and Rights magazine interview, John Hahn says In Our Dreams was co-written by Bob Marlette, who produced the band's second studio album, Folklore and Superstition. In the same interview, John Hahn says In Our Dreams was written for the band's third album, Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea, but Roadrunner thought it was too heavy for the band. So when they parted ways with Roadrunner, the band got the song back and recorded it for Kentucky. Mascot loved the song so much that they made it the album's first single. I started this YouTube channel as a platform to promote the music I love. more specifically rock and roll music. I'm not just talking about the greatest hits of AC/DC and Bon Jovi. I'm talking about Def Leppard deep cuts, Richie Sambora's solo albums, and newer rock bands like Rival Sons and Black Stone Cherry. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video. Next up, we got Soul Machine. Soul Machine is one big party with the horns and saxophones and has a gospel feel thanks to the female backing vocals. The song wasn't necessarily written for a church setting, but if it's the church of Southern rock, sign me up. I love how Chris spells out soul multiple times throughout the song. It's not easy to spell out words and make them fun at the same time. That's why I admire songs like Aretha Franklin's Respect, AC/DC's Inject the Venom, When It's Gonna It's Double Trouble, and Lady Gaga's Born This Way. Soul Machine is funky, groovy, infectious, hard-hitting. There's loads of wah-wah guitar, it's got an incredible feel, and has so much heart thanks to Chris's guitar solo. Next up, we have Long Ride. Long Ride gives off first dance at wedding feels. It's a beautiful ballad with a dual meaning. According to an interview with KFM Mets, Chris says, "My input on that song, the beginning of it is talking about, finding the person you love and having a kid and a love that you just can't replace. And then that last chorus where it breaks down and it says, I won't be the same without you, takes kind of a turn to where it was more me thinking about my grandpa, who I lost at the end of 2014. And I never lost anybody I was that close to. Weird things my father said on the Folklore album, but we had written that about some friends of ours, kind of from their perspective. But this was the first time ever really opening up about a loss in our personal lives." The song has a commercial feel, and Chris delivers an honest and a vulnerable vocal performance. Next up, we got Cheaper to Drink Alone. First of all, the music video is hilarious with the guys cross-dressing and speed dating themselves. Plus, Hailstorm's Joe Hollinger and Lizzie Hale make guest appearances in the video. In one particular scene, Lizzie Hale is grossed out with one of John Fred Young's alter egos. The weirdest part of the video, however, is when the band members are turned on by themselves. Chris Robertson was this close to making love to himself.
Oh, you nasty.
According to Setlist.fm, Cheaper to Drink Alone is the only song from the Kentucky album that the band still plays live. Why the hell is that? I have no idea, but whatever. It's got a memorable riff that will stay in your head for days, weeks, years, whatever. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. And I love the lyrics. Cheaper to Drink Alone tells the story of a woman who plays with a man's heart and leaves him broke. The warning signs are there, but she has him hooked like a fish on a line and has him coming back for more. Also, that little bit where it goes, cheaper drink alone. That part is genius. It's so much fun to sing along to. Next up, we got Born to Die. This is my second favorite song on the album because, similar to The Way of the Future, I love how it takes a sensitive subject and turns it into something that's digestible and enjoyable. The lyrics are about creating your own legacy while you're still alive on this earth. Look at the chorus, because we're born to die in this life. When it's time, think about what you leave behind. You've got a love for life. Take your time, make it right. Before you go, you can shine a light. That's some heavy stuff right there. Like The Way of the Future, Born to Die is one big slap in the face. And I like that because it reminds me to never take life for granted. It's another hard-hitting banger with a ferocious groove. Next up, we have The Rambler.
I'm an old-time rambler. I call the road.
According to the interview with Music and Rights magazine, John Hunt says the song is about a man who has been running away his entire life for whatever reason and leaves his daughter behind. In that same interview, John Hunt says Jason Todd, formerly of Shinedown, introduced the song to them, and the original version was written by a duo called the Zuni Mountain Boys. Black Stone Cherry reworked it and added a bridge. According to the Classic Rock magazine interview, Chris says, "I've never been in the studio and literally broke down, had to stop singing because the song affected me that much while I was singing it. And when we were doing the vocal take on that song, I made it, I was fine, and I got to the last verse, man, I went to sing the chorus and I just lost it. I had to stop, walk away for a few minutes." In the lyrics, the man admits that he can't change who he is, but he's sorry for missing out on his kid's life, missing their first stabs and first kiss, and the broken promises he made along the way. The song takes a tragic turn in the third verse when the man gets sick and says the doctor gave him a month or two to live. The man once again begs for forgiveness and says he won't be coming home. Chris delivers a gut-wrenching vocal performance. The acoustic guitar melodies are beautiful and soft as a pedal. I love the backing vocals between John Fred Young and Jung Hun, and it's definitely one that pulls at the heartstrings, especially for parents who have jobs that require them to work away from home. I also want to briefly talk about the band's cover of Edwin Starr's War, because even though it's repetitive as hell, it's annoyingly catchy. Thematically, it fits with songs like The Way of the Future and Born to Die. The instrumentation is straight up balls-to-the-wall, bombastic, and heavy. According to the interview with KFM Mets, Chris asked they were originally going to do Sign Still Delivered or Living for the City, both by Stevie Wonder because of their love for Motown. But when scrolling through a Motown 1's album on his phone, Chris came across Edwin Starr's War, and the band agreed to cover that song instead. I have fond memories of it because of Boy Meets World when Corey and Topanga sing it together at karaoke night in season sets. Back to the Kentucky album though. Chris said it was the best record Black Stone Cherry did up until that point. As mentioned before, the band produced the album themselves, and that worked to their advantage because no one told them they couldn't do this and they couldn't do that. Not that the band felt trapped recording their previous 4 records, but when they switched to Mascot Records, it was like the rebirth of Black Stone Cherry. They were given a fresh start and came back like hungry wolves craving medium rare cooked steaks. Kentucky to me sounds like a southern metal party that never dies. Comment below your thoughts on Black Stone Cherry's Kentucky album and let me know your favorite songs on the record. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video. With all that said, take care, see you real soon, peace. Rock and roll rules, dude!